Hello everybody, and just here, and welcome back to Shield Hero Season 3, Episode 12, the finale, oddly enough, if I'm to be honest with you. Very oddly, because the previous episode, Episode 11, felt like a finale. It had a big fight, it completed a certain arc. It was a nice summary, but at the same time we still got a hook going to the next possible arc, right? We have Rishia's new weapon that, I guess we are still not sure if she gets to keep it or was it just a one-time thing. That remains to be seen. Now, in order, we have to go and fight the Star Heroes. Then we need to fight the Phoenix, right? The previous episode summed this arc of finding the Cardinal Heroes and getting them to our side perfectly well. So I'm really left wondering, what will today's episode have in store for us? It can't do too much because it's just a single episode. And it also cannot do too little because it's the last episode and it's supposed to be a finale, right? So, unless this episode is just supposed to be either a summary, right? The road so far, what we have achieved, or unless it's supposed to be a direct hook into the next season, right? Suddenly a lead to the Star Heroes arrives and we set off onto the journey, and credits to be continued in season 4. Unless it's something like that, I can't really think of what else it could be. So it's kind of odd. Then again, the previous season, we have to remember, had something very similar to it, where similarly the finale, the second to last episode felt like a finale, and the last episode, 13, I believe, in the case of Shield Hero Season 2, was just some traveling and a summary of the road so far. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk a little bit about the previous episode, the penultimate one, episode 11. In episode 11, what happened? Majority of this episode, a great majority of it, was the fight of Rishia and Itsuki, and you could pretty much say that that was the episode. Rishia versus Itsuki, screaming at each other, "My justice is the justice! No, my justice is the justice, Itsuki-sama! No, my justice is the justice!" And fighting. And the fight was cool. Of course, it was decently well done, but was it a finale defining fight? I'm not sure. We did learn a little bit about Itsuki, right? We learned that he was raised in an environment where everybody was telling him that, oh, you're the best, you're great, you're amazing, you're the hero. And then he went to a school where other people like him went, and he was no longer the best. And it caused him to become a hikikomori. And he died somehow? It wasn't shown, so we still don't know how he died, I don't think. But yeah, that was his backstory, essentially. I guess it explains why he was so pressed for being a hero, for justice, and all of that jazz. Itsuki's case was a little bit different because he had this thingamajig on his bow that the other heroes, also corrupted by Bitch, didn't have. So that's interesting. Was he trying to withstand her manipulation, and that's why she had to give him this doodad to make him easier to manipulate, or what was the goal? We know that it somehow suppresses the hero powers, so maybe it had to do with her goal of selling him to the slavers. I know, but it's certainly unique about Itsuki's case. What was also very unique about Itsuki's case is that his weapon pretty much outright rejected him and instead gave some of the hero power to Risha. The power to use spectral projectiles, I guess. Not a bow. She didn't have like a spectral bow or anything, but she had a bow adjacent power, I guess, where instead of arrows, she was able to use boomerangs, chakrams, kunai, stuff like that. I don't know if it's the case of every cardinal weapon perhaps having some sort of a latent power that can be bestowed upon someone. Maybe, I don't know, Naofumi can bestow a buckler power onto Atla so that she can use a butler, spectral butler in fight. Maybe Ren can bestow a spectral dagger power onto Eclair, and she can use a dagger, right, as a lesser form of a sword or something like that. I'm not sure. Maybe it awakens something in Orisha. Maybe she is a lesser hero, like Raftalia is. I don't know. I don't know. It's cool that we keep getting new mechanics that still also feel like they are a part of the like core mechanic of vassal weapons. So that was cool. And that was probably the most important bit of that episode, honestly. Like, sure, okay, we got Itsuki back after he got completely broken by the fact that bitch just stole everything from him. From what you guys tell me in the light novel, the entire place was completely upturned and everything was stolen. In the anime, it was much more, neat, and they just took some things and left everything intact. And he broke. He fainted and woken up in Naofumi's village with Risha tending to him. Now he is borderline catatonic, and we will need to somehow make him usable again because he's gonna have to fight the Phoenix with us. I can certainly see that being one of the background storylines of the fourth season, should the fourth season manifest eventually, and I think it will. And yeah, that's where we ended up. We ended in Naofumi's village, everything is fine. Ren is training with Eclair, Atla and Keel are having fun. Risha is training. No, Risha is going around with Itsuki. Was Atla training with the granny? I know, but in any case, everything is fine, everything is cool. Roll credits, end the season. And yet the season has not ended. We still have one more episode. And I have absolutely no clue what's gonna be shown in this episode. I'm assuming a hook towards the next season. I guess that would be the safest assumption. Alternatively, it could be, as I said, a summary episode. Characters sitting by the bonfire reminiscing of the olden days or something like that. I don't know. I honestly don't know. The previous episode didn't really leave much open to continue in this one, so I guess we just have to watch and see, right? To do that, you will need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm going to need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 12, the finale of Shield Hero Season 3, in 3, 2, 1, go! Drunk Raftalia? And he is still CG. I mean, an apt name for sure. The Way of the Dragon Vein. Some new power that Naofumi can procure. It's not too abstract. Wait, Raftalia has a blessing? Are you talking about the vassal weapon? Yeah, I think so. A daughter? She's a dotaru. What else? Right, they have a history, don't they? Okay, so is this episode going to just be Sadina's backstory? Yeah. Yes. Yes, it is. That's one of the things that I like the most about this show. How, like, Naofumi isn't chasing skirts. He is an unwilling member of a harem. He didn't, like, assemble a harem himself or anything of the sort. Here's my one daughter, here's my other daughter, here's my third daughter. Waifu? What is that? It's cool. It really is, because most isekais just. In most isekais, by episode 3, the main character probably has like 5 girls chasing after him already. Or 4 girls and a trap, if, the creators want to be imaginative. There we go. So is today's episode just going to be. Again, I really have no clue. It's not going to be Sadina's backstory, we just kind of cut that short. Is it going to be Naofumi learning the Dragon Vein magic? And that's it? Or. Uh, uh, let's see, I guess. The ones we must protect. CG horse. And CG cart. Gaelion's blessing? Oh, you mean like teaching the villagers to use the Dragon Vein magic? Or. And what would that be? Gear for the defenders of the village? Ores? Other materials? Crafting? Oh, it's a Miko dress. Yep. Stat-wise. uh, That looks nice on her. Is there something more to this outfit, though? I wonder? With how utilitarian Naofumi is, I'd expect that it gives, like, specific buffs that Raftalia needs or something. Totally. Oh, is that his old master? No, his apprentice. Right, right. Yay, horseshoe. I mean, Itsuki sorta is, sorta isn't looking at him. Not a single thought behind those eyes. Huh? Yeah, what's up? Oh, is it because it's outfit from another world? Like, boundaries between worlds are breaking down or something? I don't know. I mean, she already is a hero of a different world. Oh! I mean, hey, why not? Oh, maybe that's why not. Okay. Understandable. An assassin. A monkey man and a frog man and other men. Not particularly strong, thankfully. I love the thumping sounds when Sadina is running. Okay, that's a random plot line. Oh? A dispelling magic? Hey, he has access to his hero powers again. That's good. Okay, what's up? Why are hero abilities not working? Thankfully, we have Hengen Muso. Hengen Muso, the true MVP. Yeah? For some reason. And okay, Dragon Vein magic is not hero magic, so chances are they aren't immune to that. How convenient that they just started learning it. The classic track. Or have the non-heroes attack. That seems to be working just fine. Okay, so is the immunity to hero powers a thing only when they are using it like consciously? And when they are confused or unconscious or whatever, you can use whatever hero powers and it works? Damn, it's getting interesting. Plenty, apparently. Where? I guess season 4 is gonna cover the Kutenlo arc. Oh, okay. Uh, well, that's a reveal. A kunai. Hmm. How did they learn of the fact that she wore it, though? Okay, so the prince, his bride, and his bodyguard left the kingdom. Gotcha. That's understandable. Okay, I guess that explains why we never saw her before in any of the flashbacks. Probably not. Can't Naofumi brew some healing potion? I mean, yeah, it is like legit a very stupid entry into this arc. I'm gonna be honest with you. And you didn't deem it necessary to notify anybody about it. I mean, yeah, they weren't there to protect the next empress. They were there to ensure that she never becomes an empress. whether she knows it or she doesn't, like, makes no difference. It's the fact that she can is what matters. But yeah, I can see Naofumi, like, hyping himself up for an open war with the Kuten, or whatever it's called. Yes, exactly. Perfectly predictable. Yeah. Let's destroy some empires. Fair. Okay. Kutenlo. Right. We have a plot line for the next season. Question is, how are you going to conquer Kutenlo if your hero powers can just be stopped? Konnichiwa, Oji-san. That's gonna be useful. Let's not have another situation with slavers raiding it. Right, we never really heard about it, did we? Is it like on a separate continent, an island? Because we know the kingdoms on this continent, so... Okay, so probably a separate continent or an island. Yep. And where you are worshipped. If I got my countries correct. Oh, is Trash gonna join us? Is Trash? And you're asking to be slapped with Hengen Muso. Oh, is Trash gonna change his opinion on Naofumi? A redemption arc, perchance? I mean, probably. He's one of the star heroes, so... Okay, so this episode is literally a setup for the next season. Okay, that's actually smart. What's this song? Are we hearing the opening to season 4 right now? And right, they are in bumfuck nowhere training. I almost forgot. Oh, is Bitch also sailing for Kutenlu? Whatever. And okay, he's also joining us. She looks eerily similar to Bitch. Oh my god. Mirelia has purple hair, Melty has purple hair, Malty has red hair. I'm sorry, Bitch has red hair. And the Empress of Kutenlu also has red hair. Am I onto something here? I mean, might as well note it down. It's gonna be a theory for season 4. Sure, but still. Bitch is a daughter of Kutenlu Empress. Huh. I wonder if they already know that season 4 is gonna be coming, or is it perhaps an ending done on purpose this way to, like, oh? 4. Huh? Maybe not. I don't know. Why would they show that screen if season 4 was not a thing, though? Actually, let me Google that real quick. First, let's watch this episode again. And Shield Hero Season 4. Do we know anything about it? Website named Sportskida. No, sorry, Sportskida says the rising of the Shield Hero Season 4 teases during Season 3 finale. Okay, so sure. The rising of the Shield Hero Season 4 release date isn't confirmed. Of course, as always. But yeah, I guess it's pretty probable that season 4 is coming with an ending like this, right? But let's talk about this episode right now. Learn a way of the dragon vein here without Atla bugging us. This is actually interesting. Learning different magic instead of just the hero magic. Naofumi cannot wield any other weapons. Only a shield and other shields. He can't even pick up a dagger. It's a wonder that he can use cutlery, because cutlery also contains a knife in it. Actually, how does that work? Can he use cutlery or can he not? Could he take like a steak knife and slit someone's throat with it? Or would it reject him the moment he intends to use that steak knife as a weapon? Because maybe intent matters here as well. Actually, very interesting thing to think about. But yeah, regardless. He cannot use other weapons except the shield. What about magic there? Can he use other magic than just the hero magic? Can he use the dragon vein? Also, could he perhaps learn Hengen Muso? At least a little bit of it. Like, sure, okay, his attack stats are pretty damn low, we know that. So his punches barely do any damage, of course. But Hengen Muso might have some different moves that maybe allow you to dodge attacks easily or something like that. Or maybe even with his measly attack stat, he can at least inflict some debuffs on enemies or something in that vein. Could he learn some martial arts? Could he learn different kinds of magic? I mean, we know that he can learn the dragon vein, the way of the dragon vein. So, is it the same with other types of magic? I wonder. Interesting. Maybe where he's lacking in his like weapon arsenal, he can make it up with his magic. Then again, his whatchamacallit? The magic that he's good with is support and healing magic, I believe. So I guess he's not gonna be able to cast any particularly powerful damaging spells. He might be able to cast one mean AoE paralysis, but probably not a fireball. Still, I mean, hey, paralysis, very useful. Galen is a great teacher. Yeah. What's... Oh, Raftalia is looking at Galleon with a lot of surprise in her eyes for some reason. I don't know why. Is she surprised that Galleon can talk? Probably, maybe. What's the deal with you two? Yeah, she's a daughter. Of course. She's nothing but a daughter. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Genuinely one of my favorite things about this show. OP. The town is being rebuilt. Galleon's... It might be best to put Galleon's blessing on all the villagers. Is Galleon's blessing something like access to the dragon vein? You would give all of the villagers access to the dragon vein so that they can use the way of the dragon vein freely, or at least easily, or at least some of them can figure out that they have a certain penchant for using it. Probably. The way Atla and Rishia were discovered to be great learners of Hengen Muso, perhaps some other villagers can discover that they are great at the Dragon Vein magic. Yeah, the more people who can use the way of the Dragon Vein, the better. What you asked for is done. What did you ask for? Some ore, some fabric, a milk jug of some sort, a crate with stuff, and the Miko outfit, of course. Stats are not all that different. And of course, he only looks at the stats. Another thing that I really like about Naofumi as a main character and about this show, again, how he's not looking at the aesthetic or whatever. It's just, oh shit, this is great stats, here, wear it. And yeah, she really looks good in a Miko outfit. Forge is operating, Naofumi is ruling. Yay! Horseshoe! They're easily amused. Ren and Itsuki are here, and Itsuki seemingly got a little bit better. He would even take incentive. At times he's no longer catatonic, so hey, that's good. That's an improvement. And take it off. What do you think you're doing? I don't know. Why don't you tell me? I said that you'd better act real careful. Is wearing a different dress not being careful? I wore a nice shirt today. Am I in danger? Did nobody tell me that it? Shit, am I supposed to be looking out for sniper laser marks on my wall right now? Nobody told me about it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how much of a fan I am of the way this whole entire subplot gets introduced here. Raftalia wears a thing and boom, assassins out of nowhere. She's declaring in the line of that country, and oh, assassins out of nowhere. What? I mean, the explanation they provide makes sense. The assassins were there all the time, observing Raftalia, and then they noticed that she wears the Miko outfit, and oh no, she declared herself an empress, and they went to attack her. It makes sense on that like very base level, I guess, but it just kind of feels, I don't know, lazy a little bit, right? Like, I don't know. It feels like halfway retconned. Like, sure, it was never established that, oh, Raftalia is not an empress, she's not an heiress to any, ruling line or anything of the sort, and now they retconned it that she actually is. So it's not a retcon. It's not. But it kind of feels like one. Like, all of that stuff was going on in the background, and sure, okay, they were very well hidden, they were working from the shadows, but it still just came completely out of nowhere. Like, I don't know. I would have liked to have some clues along the way, some like itty bitty tiny little clues every now and then. I don't know. Yeah, it just feels random. Oh, Raftalia wears clothes and boom, suddenly we are at war with another country. What? Also, seemingly it's a country of demi-humans, which is interesting. Mm-hmm. Also, this is interesting that they can somehow work against the heroes. Now, who else do we know that can like dispel hero powers? Bitch. Could that be a hint of the relation of Bitch, Kutenlu, and the hero killers from another world? Something tells me it might be. Yeah, something tells me that when Bitch was chased away, she somehow found her way to Kutenlu. Kutenlu somehow got into contact with the hero slayers from another world, and for whatever reason, they started to cooperate in trying to get rid of the heroes. Why? That's a very good question. The Empress of Kutenlu believes that this world will certainly fall. The heroes are weak and this world has no hope. But the ruler from the world the hero slayers are from offered her to move all of the citizens of her country, and perhaps most importantly, all of the royalty of her country, into the other world, so that this one can die. And when this world dies, then the other world survives. So she also wanted to, or maybe that was the price for being able to escape to the other world. And also, by destroying this one, she could provide safety to her target world that she escapes to. It might be a little far-reaching with how few information we have, but I think I might be onto something here. Let's see. Kuten Lu Empress is in cahoots with Bitch and the hero slayers from another world, and Kuten Lu Empress wants this world to be destroyed. She was promised a place in the other one. There we go. Last episode, and we're still getting some fresh new theories. Brave Blade missed, and yeah, none of the hero powers are working, but Hengen Muso and just plain old hammer to the face, they're working perfectly. They're only immune to the hero's attacks. Yeah, just like the hero slayers had like perfect ways to kill heroes, just like they developed the dispelling magic that Bitch used to seal Itsuki's bow. Yeah, anti-hero measures. Anti-hero measures. The other world developed anti-hero measures like dispelling magic and Itsuki's bow seal thing. I wonder if that's like usually the part of how two worlds are clashing. Both of those worlds have some sort of anti-hero measures. But because this world is behind when it comes to the development, when it comes to fighting the waves, when it comes to fighting the beasts, perhaps this world just didn't develop those measures. I mean, hell, they didn't even know for the longest time that they are actually clashing with another world. They just thought that, oh, waves, monsters appear out of the thin air and we fight those monsters, cool. They didn't even know that there was Glass's world on the other side. Interesting. It almost seems like even before the waves started, the other world already knew who they will be pitted against, And so their heroes, like Glass and the rest of the gang, knew what they are against, knew that they are to defeat other heroes, and they also had the time to develop specific anti-hero measures. And this world just got caught completely by surprise. That's a thought. Choral magic of the dragon vein, and apparently that works. So we essentially have a confirmation that it's just hero magic that doesn't work. They seem really resistant to any hero's attacks, so we will need to attack real hard. And apparently that works. Apparently attacking real hard just works. So the defense, the resistance to hero magic, to hero powers, either isn't complete, or it has to be conscious. Right? They see that attack is incoming and they use anti-hero block, anti-hero strike, right? Either of the two. Glory to the Heavenly Emperor. Those assassins that attacked us were from Kuten Lo. Not Lu, Lo, whatever. From Kuten. This is another kind of sort of ass-pull, if I'm to be honest. It really kind of feels like, oh, we need to find another big story. Fuck it. Raftala is a princess and another country wants to assassinate her. How will the assassins know about it? I don't fucking know. She wears a Miko outfit or something. Right? It really kind of feels phoned in a little bit. I don't know if it's, again, adaptation issues and it was... there were like breadcrumbs on the way in the light novel so that, oh, suddenly it makes sense why... I don't know, Raftalia was so well educated. Oh, suddenly it makes sense why that one guy in volume 4, chapter 14, bowed to Raftalia randomly, right? I was kind of missing something like that. Usually you have something in that vein, something to like lead us. Maybe not necessarily lead us, but leave those breadcrumbs that suddenly they start making sense. Maybe the character has a locket or a pendant with some weird symbol and we don't know what that symbol is. And then it turns out that, oh, it's the symbol of the royal family of some faraway country, actually. You're a descendant. Or maybe, as I mentioned, some people just randomly treat that character really well, and it turns out that they are an underground rebellion from that country, escaped to different countries, and they want the real ruler to be on the throne. There are usually some things along the way. Not so much in this case, like everything happens within the span of a single episode, and it really feels fast, it really feels abrupt, it really feels out of nowhere. So I'm curious if it's the same case in the light novel. Did it also just came completely out of nowhere, or were there signs along the way? Let me know in the comments. As long as it's not a spoiler for the future, of course. Then yeah, let me know. What's that got to do with her Miko outfit? Yeah, it's not a Miko outfit. Only the Heavenly Empress is allowed to wear. Apparently. What a coincidence that a Miko outfit from Naofumi's world is an Empress outfit from this world. Actually, doesn't have to be a coincidence. Isekaiing people is like a normal thing. Well, not normal, but it is an established thing. It's not like, oh, a freak accident that someone was summoned from another world. No, they are doing it on the regular every 1,000 years or whatever. Perhaps a Miko was summoned from Japan and she married an emperor and she became an empress. and thus Miko outfit got associated with being an empress. Yeah, makes sense. Way back when a Miko got isekai'd, comma, became an empress. That's why Miko dress is empress dress. Interesting that he sees the kunai and there is some sort of a recognition within him. I wonder if perhaps it's a specific alloy or a specific material that can counteract hero abilities, and their outfit are laced with it. That's why hero powers can't damage them, and their weapons are made from it or laced with it, and that's why they can break through Naofumi's shield, for example. Because why else would he recognize it? Because he's familiar with Kutenlo? Unlikely. I don't think, at least, that it's likely. He probably, my bet would be at least that he recognized the material. Kutenlo assassins use some special material for their gear that has anti-hero properties. Basically Dimeridium from the Witcher universe. When Raftala, Chan, who is royalty, yeah, they'll be sending more assassins. Raftala's parents died in a wave because, yeah, there were squabbles around who's gonna be the next emperor, so he ran away with his wife and a bodyguard, and they settled in here. And it's all conveniently explained. Again, makes sense. The explanation at no point is an aspool. It's explained in a logical way. There are no retcons. It all makes sense. The problem is that it only started making sense now. I can't reach to season 1 and see that, oh, right, that scene from season 1 makes so much more sense now. Do you want to be the Heavenly Empress? Of course not. It was Kutenlo. They picked a fight with us for a very stupid reason. Yeah, I agree. There might be someone on the outskirts of the village. Were you watching for them? Yes, and she never deemed it necessary to notify anybody about it. Because why notify the lord of the village that there are foreign power assassins lurking on the outskirts of that village? Right? Why tell anybody about it? I can understand that she didn't want to tell it, that she didn't want to tell Raftalia, because she wanted to protect her from that, and she wanted Raftalia to live a normal life and not think that constantly about the assassins following her, and that she's next in line to some sort of a throne in a faraway country. But I would say that at least Naofumi should know. Maybe if not Naofumi, then at least Eclair. Maybe someone, at least. I guess not, though. When she was being mistreated as a slave, they did nothing. I mean, why are you surprised? Yeah, from their perspective, they'd be better off if she died. Actually, though, actually there, which kind of begs the question, why didn't they just kill her? When she was under Sadina's protection, sure, makes sense, Sadina would be a deterrent. But when she was a random slave in a random slaver's cage, sickly and dying, buy her for 5 silver coins and just throw her off a cliff if she's a danger to your country? Why did they not do it there? That's a big question, isn't it? They were keeping an eye on her in case she decided to become the Empress, instead of just solving the issue in a very quick, efficient, and permanent way. I wonder why. If they had been watching her that closely, they would know that she had no intention. They intend to use her wearing that Miko outfit as an excuse to finally kill her. Okay, so I guess maybe they wanted Kazu's belly. Like, sure, okay, they are living out there on a completely different continent, so let them live. But oh, she claimed herself to be an empress, that's treason, and now we can kill her. I guess that makes sense. They sent assassins without ever even sending messengers first. What would the messenger say? Hey, yo, don't wear the Miko outfit. No need for international formalities. Also, that's true. You are not the king or an emperor of a country. You just own a tiny little village in Melromark. If anything, it would be Mirelia who would be notified about it. Then again, she wasn't. Actually, they could just go to Mirelia and say, hey, yo, there is a character like that in your lands. We would like to ask you to give her into our custody because she committed treason against our country. And the question is, do we have an extradition treaty signed or not? They probably figured it wouldn't result in a war. Sure, fair. You can't really compare the might of an entire country with the might of a single village. We can't get ready for the Phoenix. That is like... This is probably the best reason that he has for going to Kutenlo. That they just can't train, they can't travel, they can't even sleep soundly at night, knowing that assassins are after them. So this is the first thing we need to solve. After this issue is solved, then we can worry about the Phoenix. Makes perfect sense. We'll go and have a talk with them, and if diplomacy fails, well, we can always raise their kingdom. Red hair. And as we later see, very similar to Bitch from like facial features. Please leave the preparation for the battle with the Phoenix. We're gonna be protecting a Lurolona village. Yeah. Why does she not have windows? That's actually a good question. What is this room? Why does it not have windows? It's some sort of a secret conference chamber with no windows. They've isolated themselves and we have no relations with them, so no extradition. There's a regular ferry from Sildveld. And if I understand it correctly, Sildveld is the like demi-human supremacist country, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Atla really seems like she will be the catalyst to Trash's redemption arc. It really seems that way. Right? Now he has something to be grateful to Naofumi for. He saved Atla. That matters. That gives Trash the ability to at least see his sister's face again. As Atla was approaching him and grabbing his hand, I fully expected her to just suplex the old man. I fully expected that and say, "Don't you dare badmouth Naofumi-sama." But no, she's much more gentle than that. Naofumi-sama saved my life. Will we see you again? Yeah, probably. Mirelia is in charge. Heading to Sildveld on Galleon with Windiam. That's actually smart. He has the teleportation magic. They don't need to all fit in the carriage, be pulled by Philo. I mean, Philo isn't here in the first place. He can just go there, open the portal, and just get everybody through. Makes perfect sense. I like it. The song, though. Singing about "I am your sword, I am your shield." So Raftalia and Atla. I wonder if it's not by chance a sneak peek for the opening or ending of season 4. I'm willing to bet it's either of those two. This is a battle I have to fight, indeed. Meanwhile, Philo and Melty are just frolicking in the woods, growing stronger. When did we see a close-up on the Kutenlo Empress face? I know. Apparently Motoyasu got a couple new chocobos. Sorry, Philolials. And it really seems like there is curse like 24/7 around his weapon. Interesting. Interesting how exhausted Itsuki and Ren were by using their curse. Right? How completely and utterly it broke them. Bags under Ren's eyes, Itsuki giving in to anger and his delusions. Meanwhile, Motoyasu is just casually wielding a cursed spear, taming some Philolials, and rushing to the help of his father. Interesting. I'm curious why. Is it here that we see the close-up? She is very similar to Bitch. They look very alike, especially when they're smiling like that. Yeah, there is some sort of a familial relation between them 100%. Sisters, probably not. Mother and daughter, possible. Yeah, entirely possible, actually. Who's to say that Trash didn't visit Kutenlo at one point and had a little bit of fun with the Empress and left the daughter behind, and the Empress decided that, oh, no, it's a bastard child, she goes with you. Something along those lines? Right? Right? Maybe. Also, her face, I know who she reminds me of. Ragyo Kiryuin from Kill la Kill. That's the path that I, the shield hero, must follow. And then we see the very, very short after credits scene. Season 3, and the number 3 is dissolving. And I fully expected season 4 to appear here, or number 4. Maybe in like last frame. No, not even last frame. No force to be seen. Interesting. Interesting. I guess it counts as a teaser. Sure. Okay. So, right. we have to do a very important thing before we can start discussing this episode. Theories. This whole page is left for season 4, but the first page we can of course cover. Woman from the Bar, that being Sadina, is a 7-star hero or a hero from another world. It wasn't confirmed directly, but I would say it's a pretty fair assumption at this point. So I'm just gonna leave it be, and maybe we can highlight it with season 4. Murder Clown, so Sign Lock, is from another world, distinct from another world in season 2. She is from another world. Whether it's distinct from Glass's world or not remains to be seen. Trash's sister is blind, we don't know. Tyran Feon was Kills and Atlas' father. That was the king of some country that Trash killed, I think, something like that. It wasn't confirmed or denied, so I'm just gonna leave it be. We didn't really get much into Kills and Atlas' backstory. Murder Clown, so Psylocke is a hero. Was it confirmed? It wasn't. But again, I would say it's a pretty safe assumption. You know what? Fuck it. Yeah, Psylocke is a hero, and Sadina is also a hero of some sort. That gets green because it can't be any more obvious. Sadina is a star hero. Yeah, that was already up there. Atla has a curse. Curse as in it wasn't illness, it was a curse. We still don't know what it was, do we? So I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Trash's lost sister is Kills and Atlas' mother, we don't know. Ren drops bitch, she goes for Itsuki. Yeah, that is actually exactly what happened. Sign is the phoenix spirit, like Ost was tortoises. That's actually a neat theory. Bitch got succubus powers, it also blocks her crest. Remains to be seen. Motoyasu goes through Naofumi. Motoyasu goes through Naofumi arc, very much so. Ren goes through Motoyasu arc. Kinda sorta. Itsuki goes through Ren arc and is a loner. No, Itsuki just went straight through Naofumi arc. So I guess that gets the orange treatment. Next, Ren goes through Naofumi arc and Itsuki goes through Motoyasu arc. Did Ren go through Naofumi arc? He did. Kinda, sorta. Itsuki goes through Motoyasu arc. No, again, he went straight through Naofumi arc. After everybody goes through Motoyasu and Naofumi arcs, they're finally ready to fight together. Yep, exactly what happened. Remnants of the 3-hero church still exist, unknown. Rando hero cast Doton? Oh, right, Doton Dispelling Bullet. That's what the spell was called. Casts Doton Dispelling Bullet to dispel Bitch's slave crest. We don't know how she lost it. Ren's Batman mask is a mind control device. No, it was just a random mask he found in the trash. Itsuki LARPs being a superhero of justice. Exactly what happened. Atla counts as Naofumi's shield to the system, so she also gets all the improvements. That's why she's so strong. She's strong because of Hengen Muso. Does she count as a shield to the system? We don't know. It wasn't really touched upon. Itsuki gets sold into slavery by Bitch. Naofumi buys him. As much as it would be super funny, it didn't happen. Itsuki's hero powers get sealed. He legit has to use the bow he got from Bitch. They did get sealed, didn't they? But... And he was using the bow gifted by Bitch, so sure. Risha was turned into a lesser hero by Itsuki's bow, we don't know that, and those are the theories for future seasons. I also want to get a look at any season 2 heroes that we might have that I might have not checked yet. Let's see. Symphogear, Tokyo 24 Cool, Showcase Road of Virgin Road, more Virgin Road, Review Starlight, Shield Hero. There we go, Shield Hero Season 2. The book dude is stealing souls. Tortoise was able to absorb only 7. Can't remember. Risha more powerful than Itsuki. Hell yeah. Itsuki wants Risha back, but she says no. Alas. Your level and skills exist on a per world basis. I'm not sure about that. 2 worlds can help each other. Soul Soothing Potion for spirit people, something in the other way. Probably, but I think it's still too early to show that. Weapons from one world might have future heroes in another, and thus their power is unharnessed. Far-reaching consequences of that, we don't know anything about that. Collect all heroes to unite worlds. Maybe, again, still far too early. And the next page is already Skeleton Knight in another world. Unless this is... yeah, this is Shield Hero also. No world actually defeated all waves ever. You need heroes of both worlds to fight later waves. Again, still far too early for any conclusions about that topic. Well, that one didn't click. That's unsatisfying. So... this episode. I'm not quite sure how to rate it. I'm honestly not quite sure. Should I rate it as a finale? Should I rate it as an OVA? Should I rate it as a trailer? Or should I rate it as episode 1 of season 4? Because that would really change how I can rate this episode. As a finale, doesn't really work that well. The previous episode did. The previous episode was a really good finale. This one, not really much of a finale, to be perfectly honest with you. As an OVA, it works. As a trailer, a very long trailer, it also works really well. It really got me interested in what's going to be happening in the next season. Absolutely. And as the first episode of the next season, kind of fast-paced, but ultimately sets up the arc we're going to be following. So, sets up the main conflict. So it works. Just like the first episode of this season set up the arc of having to look for more heroes, right? So, yeah, I guess that's how it is. That's how it is. As an episode itself, not rating it based on the location, on the position within the season. It was a little bit of a mixed bag, if I'm to be honest. At times it really felt short. The beginning with Naofumi and Raftalia apparently learning the way of the dragon vein. it felt kind of threw in there just so that it's established for later that, oh, they can use it against the assassins. It really felt like we didn't spend enough time training, learning it. It was just a random talk with Sadina and a little bit of Naofumi trying to use the magic, and that's basically it. Roll the intro, roll the opening. The rest, I was hoping that it will be a summary sort of an episode, and early on it really seemed that way. Kind of like in, I don't know, Skyrim or whatever other game. You go out of one of the hub cities, you traverse the terrain, you go around the world, you do some quests, find some gear, find some cool new materials, stuff like that, and eventually you come back to one of the cities, you come back to your breeze home in Whiterun. Yeah, Whiterun, I think it's called. I think so. Man, it's been a while since I played Skyrim, huh? But yeah, you come back to the city and then you can sort through everything you got, right? Oh, now I can finally take a look at all the skills I got, try to figure out what they do. I can take a look at my looted skill books. I got a recipe for that, got a recipe for that, got some cool materials. I'm gonna be able to craft an obsidian sword now. That's gonna be an upgrade to what I have. I got this new piece of armor, but it needs enchanting, so let me enchant it a little, right? It feels like this episode felt like that. We touch base with the named villagers, the blacksmith, the twins fighting, training, Raftalia getting new clothes, stuff like that, right? We came back from long travels. We go through our gear, get some upgrades, and we are preparing for the next arc. But then the assassins happened. And it still kind of feels like an ass pull. Again, the explanation makes sense. All they said about why the assassins are there, how did they know that Raftalia wore those clothes, what's gonna happen, what are the repercussions, all of that makes sense all the way back to Raftalia's childhood. All of those explanations make sense. But somehow they don't feel like they do. It's weird. It's weird. It kind of feels like sort of a I don't want to say cheap trick, but kinda sorta. Like, we are already ready for the next arc, we think that we know what's gonna happen next, and then psych, the author got another idea and suddenly we're entering a completely different arc. We're not gonna be looking for the Star Heroes next, we're not gonna be fighting the Phoenix, we're not gonna be rebuilding the village, none of that. Raftalia is an empress now. What? Apparently she is. Right? It kind of feels like, I don't know, iffy somehow. Again, it wouldn't be bad, I would actually like it very much if there were some subtle signs along the way, but there were none. I don't know if they were cut out of the anime, or were they just not there either in the source material. That I wonder about. Initially, I had the idea that perhaps Raftalia needs to take it off because it's an outfit from another world, and oh, it will point the other worlders to our whereabouts, and they will arrive here and they will attack the village. And then explosions. So I thought, oh shit, wearing the gear from another world, modified by a blacksmith from this world, it tore a gap in reality, and now inside of that building there is just an open passage to Glass's world. Right? Things like that came to my mind. I was thinking in those terms, but No, just assassins were always around and always looking. Right, I was about to say that it would be nice to, like, even see them skittering around the woods every now and then, like show us a shadow just moving suddenly somewhere in the woods. But I think there was a scene like that. Except I think it was implied that it was Sign. So, okay, I guess maybe, big maybe there was a scene that was supposed to give us that breadcrumb towards this big reveal. I don't know. I don't know. I like where Trash's character is going. I really like it. That was probably one of my favorite parts of this episode, if I'm to be honest with you. His potential redemption arc actually feels natural. That's cool. That's really cool. He's not immediately jumping into Naofumi's embrace. He shies away from Naofumi straight out. He avoids him still. He still has some hatred for him, perhaps, but there are cracks in that appearance. That's cool. I also just like his new look, wearing a complete, you know, brown garb with no adornments or anything. It would be cool if he actually kept that look. If he was essentially the archetype of like a, whatchamacallit, bum warrior, kinda. He dresses in rags, he just has a big stick, but by God can he fight. That would be really nice. That he decides that no, I don't want the regalia, I don't want anything, I'm just gonna be. What was that Greek philosopher who lived in a barrel? Diogenes? One of them. I wanna be like him. All I need is Atlas' smile, my trusty staff, and being useful to the country. It would be a really nice character archetype for him. So that's cool. I'm really looking forward to where Trash, Old Cray, he deserves it. Where Old Cray is gonna go in the future. I'm really gonna be looking forward to his character development, most of all. What else about this episode? I'm honestly kind of disappointed that the next arc doesn't seem to be looking for the Star Heroes, because we only have like 2 months left until the Phoenix attacks, and the help of Star Heroes would be very much useful. Now, sure, Sadina is probably one of them. Rishia, I would say it's fair to assume is another one, except she doesn't have a weapon, so it's kind of a latent ability, I guess. Sign, of course, Old Grey, so that's 3 out of 7. Sign, Locke, and Raftalia, of course, don't count because they are heroes, lesser heroes of another world. Yeah, kinda bummed out that it's not the next arc. Although I guess it would kind of feel samey, right? In this season, we have to look for the main heroes. In the next season, we have to look for the lesser heroes. It's a lot of looking, it's a lot of searching, it's a lot of heroes. So maybe it's better that we pace ourselves out a little bit. But I'm worried about the 2 month time span. A month doesn't seem like enough to conquer a country, and similarly, a month doesn't seem enough to look for the missing 4 heroes. So we are probably not going to be looking for the missing heroes. Maybe we're gonna find a boomerang weapon somewhere in the caves, and Risha is gonna take it, and she's gonna be like, "Oh, I feel the hero power surging," and it's gonna be revealed that hey, she's a hero. So we're gonna have 3 star heroes at our disposal, assuming Autocrate joins the battle. I would say it's a fair assumption that he will. Anything else? I think that's it. I'm glad that the heroes will be fighting together now. That's cool. I'm still not entirely sure about Itsuki, to be perfectly honest with you. He still feels like he could break at any moment. Ren, no. Ren is steely in where he is right now, being with Eclair, training with her. That friendship really did him good. I have absolutely no fears about Ren. Itsuki could still go off into the deep end, and Motoyasu is. I wanted to say unpredictable, but no, he's probably the most predictable of all. Naofumi says, Motoyasu does. Simple. And if Motoyasu doesn't, then Philo says Motoyasu does. Easy. I'm still not sure what's the deal with Philo and Melty training just in bumfuck nowhere. It still feels like they are there for some purpose besides just training. It was a really big deal when they were departing. I don't see why would they need to be removed from the story. Like, usually when characters go off somewhere to train off screen for 2 months, it's because during those 2 months something is happening that wouldn't happen if those characters were there, right? For example, a team is based on elements, and the fire element just goes off to training, but oh no, we have to fight the monster that is susceptible to fire now, but there's no fire element with us. How do we deal with that? Right? It's usually why characters depart to train off screen. So I am still left wondering what's the deal with Philo, Rafu, and Melty just going somewhere and disappearing, and well, not disappearing, but you know what I mean, going to train off screen, not being a part of the story for the time being. That's a big mystery. Overall, decent episode with some weaker spots that I think it would be safe to say that they can just be, whatchamacallit, wrote up to, chucked up to, what's the. They can be explained by. And I lost the plot. I lost my train of thought. Okay, whatever. Good episode with some weaker points that still get a logical explanation and sets up the next season really well. So I guess it did the job. It did the job for sure. Wasn't amazing. Wasn't the best episode of this season. It's not the greatest ending. It's not the greatest finale. It really feels more like episode 13 OVA kind of sort of deal. But it did the job, and I guess that's what matters. I liked it. Overall, not bad. Good. Sure. So, season as a whole. Season as a whole. Certainly an improvement over the first half of season 2. 100%. Graphically, story-wise, pacing-wise, a really big improvement. Whether it's an improvement on the second half of season 2, I'm not sure. First of all, it's been a while since I've seen season 2, so I don't remember how exactly it went. But I think I overall had more problems with season 2 than I had with this season. So that's good. 100%. Season 2 also suffered a lot wonky faces. I still have screenshots of the I forgot their names. The red-headed dude and the crystal mage girl, and their faces just being completely fucking melted, different height eyes, scowls on their faces. What even was that? So this season doesn't do that. Not much. Okay, for the most part, it doesn't do that. There were a couple of scenes here and there where the faces got a little bit wonky, but there weren't many, while it was a common occurrence in season 2, and they weren't quite as drastic. Like, sure, someone's face might have been a little bit longer than it should be, but really, nothing was as bad as some faces in season 2, for sure. So, certainly an improvement in the arts department. Probably a lesser chunk of it was outsourced. Animation certainly improved, I would say. Season 2, I don't really remember, to be perfectly honest with you, but I feel like it had fewer fights and fewer, like, in general, animation showcases than this season. Yeah, it kind of feels hard to compare to season 2, so I'm just gonna stop, I guess. I'm just gonna rate this season on its own merit. So, art, decent, good. At times, looks really good. At times, looks kind of wonky when some of the scenes are outsourced. So, kind of a mixed bag, but overall, good art. Animation, for the most part, really good. Sometimes, I would say even great. Some of the fights were really good. Great use of smear frames, great use of like momentum and sound and all of that. It was good. It really worked. There weren't any fights that would just be, sliding PNGs clashing with each other and a, dramatic shaky zoom into someone's face like some fights in, I don't know, Dragon Ball Z were, for example. So it's good. This season just looks good. Not completely and utterly amazing. Didn't blow my ass off with its visuals, but I've seen much worse shows. I've really seen much worse looking shows. So this one, thumbs up for the arts department. Music opening as always on point. Ending also decent. But I like the opening most of all. Some really nice tracks during the course of this season as well. The chanty choral track with chorus during the fight of Rishia versus Itsuki, that was great. The song that we heard at the end of this episode, that was also great. So really cool music in this season, for sure. Sound overall, in this episode, Sadina's orca form thumping, it just felt so good to my ears. That's a bad way to put it, but that's how I did. Yeah, it was surprising. It was surprising to hear a heavy, bulky character to stomp around and to actually hear those stomps. It's weird. Like, character steps are usually don't have sound. Even when a character is like really big and bulky and heavy, they usually don't give sound to their steps. So this was nice. It was really nice, and the sound was also fitting. I know, it just kind of struck me that Sadina's footsteps actually sound like they should. Sound design overall, good. Voice actors, they haven't changed from the previous seasons, so of course, as always, really good. Some really good performances. Even the new characters, they also work. Good casting. I didn't have a feeling where some character might have been miscast or voice not fitting the character, like sometimes happens. No, none of that. So again, voice acting, good. Story-wise, I really like this arc. What can I say? I really did enjoy the arc of looking for other heroes. I really did enjoy those little tidbits of village building. That was great. I really enjoyed the story of this season, honestly. The fact that all of the heroes that we had to get back, that we had to find and get to our side, that they all went through those like distinct Naofumi arcs. That was great. I had a lot of fun watching them utterly struggle against like tertiary members of Naofumi's group, basically, because Eclair isn't like a secondary member of their group the way I know Keel and Fall would be. She's like completely tertiary, and she just defeated Ren like it was nothing. I really, really did enjoy that. I really enjoyed seeing all of those heroes getting humbled, and I really enjoyed them proving that they are actually at least a little bit smart. At least Ren and Itsuki. They were able to recognize when Bitch just made a complete mockery out of them. They were able to see that. They were able to even like internalize it and understand what happened and live with it and get better. Good character development. I really like Itsuki. Itsuki is barely a character right now, so I can't really speak of him, but I really like Ren right now, for example. I really like Motoyasu. He really works as a little bit of a comic relief character, but at the same time, there's a lot of power to him. Comic relief characters are usually just, bumbling idiots running around, not doing anything useful. Motoyasu has some serious power behind his hits. He's the powerhouse of the team. And he's also comic relief. It just works. It's nice. It's fresh. It's cool. I really like how much Ren grew as a person with Eclair. How he's smiling. For the first time since season 1, he's actually smiling every now and then. Good. Good. Really good. I'm not sure how fond I am of Risha and Itsuki, how that was solved. I can recognize that it has some really nice storytelling potential, for sure. Absolutely, it will work. But I can't help but see it as an abused person going back to their abuser because they can no longer live without them because they're so dependent. Right? It really feels iffy that way. So I hope there wasn't much time given to develop how they work together, their relationship, whatever it might be. So I hope that it gets developed in a healthy way, where they are no longer joined at the hip. They are friends, but Risha is doing her thing with Naofumi, and Itsuki is doing his thing, right? I don't know. We'll see where that goes, of course. As I said, I really enjoyed the village building, whatever tidbits of it were there, but it was still much more than in season 2, for example. I'm a sucker for nation building, village building, city building kinds of stories. I don't know, I just really enjoy them for some reason. So it was nice to see little bits and bobs of that in this season. I was waiting for that a lot, and my wait was not in vain. From what I hear, there is much more of it in the light novel. Not sure how it is in the manga, probably also much more of it. But for an anime that was set off to tell a certain specific story within the span of 12 episodes, there was still a lot of that like downtime village building. So I can appreciate that for sure. Good story. Thumbs up, double thumbs up actually. Pacing, I didn't have any issues with pacing either. Maybe at times it felt a little bit fast, but nothing particularly major, to be perfectly honest with you. So that was good. It's also interesting how much we got done within the span of this season, and none of it actually felt rushed. Right? Like, we got Ren back, we got Itsuki back, we got Galleon, we got Motoyasu back, we got new members of our group, right? Kill and Atla. There was a lot of stuff that happened within this season. Just 12 episodes, but really a lot has happened. And I don't feel like anything was not given enough attention, for example. I don't feel like Atlas' integration into the cast was rushed. I don't feel like the battle with Galleon was rushed. It just worked. When it comes to Atla, I guess the big part of it is that we every so often see her just training somewhere in the background with Kill or with Granny or with Rish. No, we didn't see her fighting Risha, but with Kill or Granny. So that kind of builds her character while she's not necessarily in focus. This season overall just feels better directed, and I guess it shows because I believe that either the director or the screenwriter I think the director for season 1 came back in this season, and season 2 was directed by someone completely different. It would make sense. It really would make sense. Anything else about this season? Characters. I guess I touched upon it briefly every now and then. The main cast, they are as likable as always. I really like Naofumi, Raftalia, Philo, and the rest. That didn't change. Nobody felt out of character, so hey, that's also very good. I didn't think that I would like Old Grey this much. It surprised me. It really surprised me, but I really came to enjoy his character. I really liked the addition of Atla and Kill. That was really good. I feared that they might feel tacked on, but no, they don't. They actually feel like a natural part of the team right now. So that's good. Sadina, I'm actually surprised how much Sadina feels like a natural part of the party as well. I like her as a character as well. Again, Sign, not sure what to think of her. She's still very mysterious to me. She appears, disappears. From what we've seen of her, she's also a nice character. I don't mind her at all. Cute, one could even say. I like the thing where her voice is glitching because she's from another world, so not all of the meanings can get translated into this world. Cool, good shit. I really like that, interdimensional shenanigans happening every now and then. Ratatouille was also a new addition, but she showed up for like one episode to deal with Galleon being born, and then she just completely disappeared, so I can't really say anything more about her. I really like Eclair. I don't know, I just do like her design. I like her as a character. And I really like how well she works with Ren. That's also really good. Any other characters worth mentioning, I wonder? Let's see, Rishia. Rishia is someone I had very mixed feelings for. Okay, mixed feelings is not the good way to put it. I like her as a character. I just don't like her dependency on Itsuki. I don't like how every other word out of her mouth is Itsuki-sama. I really don't like how heavily dependent she is on him. Now, I know that Itsuki saved her or whatever backstory was there, but it really doesn't feel healthy. And even after their fight, which was supposed to be that like liberating moment for Rishia, right? I don't need your help anymore now, I can help you, I'm strong enough to help you, Itsuki-sama, but it still revolves around Itsuki-sama. They are still joined at the hip. Nothing really changed, if you ask me, so that really feels iffy. I hope they expand on the topic in the future, though. Windia? I don't know. Cool, cute character. It's interesting that she was raised by a dragon, but I really feel like she was kind of underutilized. Besides that, like fight with Galleon, she just got completely swiped off to the background. Chances are that she will play a bigger role in the next arc, maybe. And of course, bitch. She hasn't changed one bit. There's a really great contrast between Bitch and Old Cray, right? They both were like part of the same conspiracy for the most part. But where Old Cray got humbled and is now a recluse bum going around the castle in his robes and watching children play around. By that I mean Atlan kill fighting, but that sounded funnier. Where he went in that direction, in some direction of like even self-improvement a little bit, right? In mind. He no longer has the throne, he no longer has any of that. Now he can focus on himself, on bettering himself as a person. Bitch went in a completely opposite direction. She doubled down. She got no lessons out of what happened. She was not humbled one bit. It's interesting. It's really interesting how different it was. Also, interesting because Old Cray has much better reason of hating the shield than she has. Bitch did all of that just for shits and giggles, pretty much. Meanwhile, Old Cray, like, he has an actual legit gripe with the demi-humans, and because of demi-humans also with the shield. His position can be understood, empathized with, even. And yet he's willing to change. Meanwhile, Multi, she's just an evil bitch. She's just evil, right? She has no motivation. Zero. Okay, now she has motivation because, oh, the shield hero was bad to me, he humbled me, and I need revenge on him right now. I guess that would be her motivation, but besides that, she has no like, oh, a shield killed my parents, or anything of the sort. All of that started just because she's evil. And at the same time, she doesn't feel like a character that is just doing evil things for the sake of doing evil things. Because that's also like a completely opposite end of the spectrum of evil, right? On one hand, we have the Marvel villains that are always redeemable, always have some sob story, and we always feel for them. On the other hand, you have just irredeemable evil people who kick puppies for fun. Multi bitch is on that side of kicking puppies for fun, but not quite to that extreme. And she's much more well-rounded of a character, and she's much more deep, despite still being fairly shallow. But her motivations and her schemes are a very interesting part about her. She's completely and utterly irredeemable. And yet we want to know why, at least. The explanation won't matter, but we are curious. I really like this kind of a villain. I really do. Shit, we are nearing 2 hours, so I guess I should wrap it up, huh? Overall, really good season. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I haven't laughed this much in a good while. I wasn't this involved in a story in a good while again. It was just good. And hopefully season 4 is only better. Maybe a little bit less CG, you know, if I could ask for Galleon to not be CG, would that be too much for season 4? Hopefully not. Hopefully we can just get rid of the CG stuff and just, you know, be better about it. Maybe a little bit of a higher budget, maybe a little bit more time for season 4. That would do everybody good. I'm waiting for season 4, of course. I'm going to be watching it, if that wasn't obvious. Because there are still so many mysteries in this world, and it feels like there are so many mysteries that we don't even know exist yet. That's really nice. The world really feels vast and unexplored and unknown, and I couldn't ask for anything more. I really couldn't. I'm really enjoying this series. I think I'm gonna pick up the manga. I know that the manga got to the point of like early in this season, so I have no fear of overshooting and spoiling like season 4 for myself. I don't think so. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Good show. Good season. Decent episode. The previous episode was a little bit better, I think. Although this one also had some really nice moments, but I don't know. Kind of felt like an asspool. But it was good. It was good. I don't want to end with negativity. Good episode. Good season, good show, good story, good characters. I'm gonna be waiting for more. But I think that's gonna be it from me for today. Maybe you guys have something more to add on the topic, so say so in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? Everything in the comments. And no spoilers, though. I beg of you, spoilers can go to my Discord if you want here. Also, linked in the description below. There's a Shield Hero channel. It's open, free to everybody, so feel free to join it. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future releases of future seasons of Shield Hero whenever that comes out. But also Magia Record, Shy, Helk, Shangri-La Frontier, and plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do stream sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows like Magia Record, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube itself via memberships, super thanks, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without a Network, Survivor, Zayrainer, Akamaster, Dr. Watt, Marsh, Kala, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them without having to go to Kutanlo or whatever that country is called.